Hello and welcome to In the Chair with Aaron. My name is Caleb Curtis and I am here with the writer of the At First Sight play, Only Child. Aaron, can you introduce yourself for us, please?
Sure, I'm Aaron Ricciardi. I'm the third year writer in the MFA playwriting program here at IU.
Yeah.
And I wrote this play, Only Child,
Yes.
running from February 22nd to March 2nd,
Yes.
directed by Jenny McKnight.
Awesome. Now, I have had the privilege of seeing the reading of this play.
All right, I forgot you were there.
I didn't stand out. But no, it's a fabulous play, I have to say. But for those of us who didn't see a reading of it, can you give us a little bit of a synopsis of what the play is about, or some themes about it?
Sure. The play is about a prince of a small kingdom who enters into an inappropriate relationship with his female drama teacher, who welcomes him into her home, into her marriage, into the life of her child, and into her very active, delusional fantasy life. And we follow that relationship, and then we jump around in time, and structure in the play is pretty malleable. There's a lot of times in the play where the audience is purposefully confused about stuff,
Yeah.
and that by the end it all sort of breaks apart, and then in the end it all kind of comes back together, and you hopefully realize what it all was going for.
One of the things I love about your writing, and specifically the writing of the play, when I saw it, was that, like you said, it forced me as an audience member to pay attention, because I was constantly having to figure out what was going on. And it was a play that didn't give you the answers. And I also loved that. I loved that when the play was done, I as an audience member didn't have all the answers. And I love theater that makes you do that. And that's just a thing I've never got to say to you.
Oh,
but
thank you. Well, it's something I think about a lot. I actually talk about it a lot in my teaching. I've been finding myself doing that the past year. Is that it's something I've really thought about while I've been at IU, is the value of confusion in a play and mystery.
Yes.
And how I find that a lot of times plays become boring when when we get it.
Yeah.
Completely. You know, when you drag something out for a little bit longer than maybe you think you might want to, it actually causes your audience to lean forward in their seat and be like, where's he going? Why do you do that?
Yeah.
Huh. And then you distract them with something else, but they're still sitting there like, why did he do that just now?
Yeah.
Where are they? Where was that woman that was just here? She seemed really weird. Now she's gone, you know?
Yeah. It's the difference between going to see something like Sound of Music and be like, oh good, they escaped the Nazis, where's dinner? And and truly leaving the theater and getting in the car and being like, okay, we have to talk about this right now.
Yeah.
And that after I saw the reading, it was one of those moments where I was like, okay, let's talk, please.
Well, the play is really autobiographical and comes from a pretty traumatic episode of my life that lasted quite a long time. And I don't look back on that episode in my life with great clarity by any means. I actually look back on it with a great deal of confusion. So I don't think I was really, I don't think I was too clear about this while I was writing it, but now I realize that what I was actually trying to do was, in the audience's experience of the play, I think I was trying to replicate for them what it felt like for me to be in that situation. To leave it and be like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Who was to blame for that?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to feel about that?
Oh, wow,
it was
that's
actually
awesome.
kind of fun, parts of it,
Yeah.
you know?
It's not so cut and dry.
No. So this play, at the end of the school year last year, I knew I needed a play for this year, and I didn't have anything, and I was really stuck. And I was writing, I got a grant from the department and went on this really long research trip to work on this one play that I then worked on for 4 weeks for 2 months over the summer, and couldn't come up with anything and hated everything I wrote. And then it was 3 weeks before we had to come back to school, and I was like, I don't have anything! So I started writing something that ended up becoming this, but it was terrible and I hated it. And then I came back to school and had 20 pages of nothing. Actually, when I say nothing, it's not true though, because a lot of it's now still in the play. But I just didn't know what it was, and then I just really needed to write something. And so I had this one horrible thing happen to me as a kid. I had a teacher who was inappropriate with me, and I was in a really serious relationship with her and her family for a while. And I've led a pretty great, charmed life, but I've had one terrible thing happen to me.
Yeah.
So of course that's what obsesses me, and that's what I want to write about, right now at least. So I just didn't know what to do other than to write about that, and I had these 20 pages, and I was just like, I don't know, I need to make something of it. And then I just wrote every day for like a week and a half, and by the time like 10 days was over, I had this new play.
That's
and
awesome.
I don't remember writing it. I really don't. I don't remember how I came up with the ideas. I don't remember writing any of the lines of dialogue. Like I sit in rehearsal and I'm like, I like that. When I would look back on Nice Nails, I look back at parts of that play and I remember every moment of writing it because it was so hard. But this was pretty easy for such a difficult play about such a difficult time in my life and such difficult subject matter. It really just came out of me, and it was so easy and actually fun. It was like, for a play that's actually kind of dark and upsetting. It was so fun to write, as opposed to Nice Nails, which is, I think, quite fun to watch, was the opposite of fun to write.
Yeah. So this is your 3rd year. You're about to graduate. I understand.
You too.
Senior. Yeah, me too. Senior, like, woo, peace out, but also, in lieu of asking you the popular Thanksgiving Day question of, what are you gonna do after? I'll ask you this question instead. What kind of stories do you want to tell in the future?
What kind of stories do I want to tell? I've been writing a lot of applications lately that ask me what is my work like. And I've been saying that I'm really interested in the parts of life that we don't examine very often. I'm really interested in people who have lives that are fueled by delusion. I'm really interested in what lies underneath the things that like run our lives that we don't think about. I think a lot about politics. I've been working on this adaptation of this novel about pre-Holocaust Germany.
Oh, wow.
That's really interesting to me. I'm writing a play right now about a solo show for myself that's about a deep dark secret in my family that no one ever talks about. I'm interested in being a little provocative in that way and picking up rocks and seeing what's under them, kind of thing. Which is definitely what this play does. It's asking a lot of questions about how we treat children and how we take care of our children, and especially how we take care of our boys.
Oh wow.
So I think
awesome.
I want to keep going in that direction.
That's amazing. Final question. We've been talking a lot about your writing.
Okay.
But when you're not writing, what's your favorite thing to do?
I really like to cook. I'm quite a good cook. I actually made a whole feast the other night for the whole cast and creative team.
Why wasn't I in this play?
Sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
It was delicious.
I could have had dinner.
And we played a really fun game of Celebrity. Oh my god, don't worry, they're not real. We played a really fun game of Celebrity. Have you ever played that game?
No.
It was fun. I'll tell you about it later. I have a dog that I'm kind of smitten with.
Oh, I met your dog.
Her name is Romy Michelle. I love her. And I'm pretty close with my family. We spend a lot of time together when we can.
This has been so insightful, and it's been such a pleasure to sit down and talk with you, Aaron. And you can come see how, I almost said House of Mirth, Only Child, playing in the Wells-Metz Theatre.